Hey everyone, it's Elizabeth and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about what it takes to get into dental hygiene school. So laid out in front of me, I have all of the papers that the school that I applied to gave me, and I'm just going to go through some of these things that you have to do before you can apply to school. So the first thing that you want to do is take a look at the prerequisite courses that you need to take. At my school, I have them here on these papers in front of me. But the prerequisites that I had to take are anatomy and physiology, microbiology, and chemistry 1. So before I could even take microbiology and anatomy, I had to take biology, and a biology with a lab at that. So that took some time. Had to do that, anatomy, and then before I could even take chemistry 1, I had to take algebra and intro to chemistry. So those are things that you really want to take a look at. Because it's going to take time to complete all those classes. In addition to prerequisite science courses, you will also have to take some general education courses. I already have an associate's degree and those should transfer, but even if they don't, I can take those classes either before school starts next fall, or I can even take them technically during the program. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult for me to do that. If you can get your general education courses out of the way before you start the program, that would be ideal. So the general education courses that I would have to take are English Comp 1, college algebra, public speaking, general psychology, and intro to sociology. So take a look at what you need to take. I know that this actually just changed this year. When I was looking at the paperwork a year or two ago, there were some different courses on here that I had to take. So definitely take a look at your school and what they specifically want you to take. The next thing that you want to do is make sure that you have your hepatitis B immunizations. You can check and see if you're immune by taking a titer at your local lab. I went to, what is it called? requestatest.com, and they were able to set up an appointment at a local lab. I went in, gave some blood, and I just got my test results back, and so I'll provide that in my paperwork when I apply to the dental hygiene program. But you may have to take your shots if you are not immune to hepatitis B. So it is a 6-month process, so definitely make sure that you are on top of that. Get that out of the way as soon as you think you might want to apply to be a dental hygienist, because it's a lengthy process, something that you don't want to wait the last minute for. Some schools are okay with you taking a hepatitis B shot in between applying and actually starting the program, but as far as the school that I applied to, before you could even apply, you had to make sure that you were immune to hepatitis B. So definitely make sure that's near the top of your priority list and making sure that you're immune to hepatitis B. And with that, the next step is going to be doing your observation hours. Not all schools require this. My school does require 40 hours of shadowing, and the first office that I shadowed at did require that I have proof of a hepatitis B immunization. So again, if you are thinking you want to be a dental hygienist and you notice that you do need to take observation hours at the school that you're applying to, make sure that you have your hepatitis B either titer or the immunization records available, because some offices do require proof of that. The next step is taking the TEAS test. I know it might sound a little intimidating, but it really was not that bad. With minimal studying and watching a bunch of YouTube videos on anatomy, I ended up with an 86, and the minimum for the program is a 55. So it is tough, don't get me wrong, but it consists of reading, grammar, math, and science. If you want a video on the TEAS exam and what it all covered, I can make that for you guys if you want, but really just the important part is to study anatomy if you can. That was the hardest part for me, and the different functions of the body. That's where most of the questions I got wrong were. The next step that you want to make sure that you do is apply to your school. The school that I chose, I have to apply to the school and then apply to the dental hygiene program. So make sure whatever it is that you have to do, that you take those steps to do them correctly in the right order. So with applying to the school, you also have to submit your transcripts. So make sure you have everything in order for that as well. I'm not the average student. I've been out of school for a while, not including these prerequisites that I've been taking. I graduated from high school in 2008 and I got my associates in 2010, and I took a really long break because truthfully I really just didn't know what I wanted to do. Dental hygiene was something that I always kind of wanted to do, but for whatever reason I never applied. And I finally took the steps to do it, but I had to go back to my high school of 2008, to the college I went to in 2010, and get all those transcripts together to send to the new school. So if you're anything like me and have been out of school for a while, you know, kind of backtrack a little bit, make sure that you are going back and getting the right transcripts. And lastly, make sure you apply to the FAFSA. School is really expensive. The program that I chose is roughly $38,000, so I need every little bit of financial help I can get with this thing. So make sure you apply for financial aid. It's gonna come in handy for sure. I applied in October of 2018 for the fall 2019 semester, so you can do it almost a year in advance. So make sure you're on top of that, and you should be able to get a code from your school when you're applying for financial aid. Should be, you know, in the paperwork that they give you. And also make sure that you are paying attention to deadlines. There's so many deadlines that you need to do things by, and usually your school will have that outlined for you. For me, the application to apply to dental hygiene school is, I want to say January 15th, might be January 11th, but you need to make sure that you're getting those deadlines met, because if you slip up and you forget one, if you're anything like the school I'm applying to, you're gonna have to wait a whole nother year to apply, and most are like that. So definitely make sure that you're paying attention to those deadlines.